Humor. Thanks, Soumya, for choosing this theme. To be honest, I'm yet to find a person who doesn't like humor. It's probably as important as oxygen in our lives, if not more. It does lighten our moods, reduces stress, and actually helps in better connection with other people. It can actually, many a times when you feel some challenges like really stressing you out, a good humor can lighten up your mood and make the journey easier. Please try to include a daily self dose of humor in your lives if you already don't. That would be my recommendation. And hopefully, after this session, we feel more energized towards making sure that we do have the element of humor in our lives. Let me introduce the functionaries for today. Uh, a, a general evaluator, I think it's Alan. Alan, do you mind sharing
Yeah,
what your role would be?
yeah, sure. So I'm going to be the general evaluator today. I'm going to evaluate the meeting as a whole and all the different functionaries. Because we always have a evaluation for the speeches and table topics, but we don't have a evaluator that evaluates the other functionaries on the road. So I'll be giving a report at the end of the day.
Perfect. Thanks, Alan. And you also are doing the grammarian role as well. So maybe you can just explain about that role?
Yeah, sure. So the word of the day today is going to be verve. So verve is it means enthusiasm, energy, liveliness. So please use that word to try to use that word today. And I'm also going to be looking for like grammatical mistakes in the different table topics and speeches.
Thanks, Alan. Thanks for taking two roles for today. And our next functionary is our counter. That would be Gung.
Yes. Yep. I will be taking the R counter role. Yeah.
Yeah. Can you explain about the role? What you'll be doing as part of that?
I will closely listen to the different sections, speeches, table topics, and in general, all the speeches. I will be taking notes on like how many filler words our speakers I have been using, and then I will give the counts, give the numbers at the end of this session.
Perfect. Thanks, Gung. And last but not the least, Priya is going to be a vote counter for the day. So Priya, can you explain your role?
Am I the timer as well?
Oh, sorry. I messed it up. My bad. I am the vote counter. So my role will be today we have only one prepared speech by Priya, so no voting there. But for the table topics, please send me your votes based on what you feel as the best, who did the best in the table topics round, and after that we can declare a winner. I sorry, I messed it up a little bit. So do we explain the role of the table topics master in this round, or we directly just when we hand it over at that point in time, Soumya
When
explain?
you hand it over, you explain.
Okay. Then we are looking all set. For our first section of the meeting, that would be prepared speeches. And our first speaker today is going to be Priya, and her evaluator is we are doing something different. We'll do a round robin evaluation for Priya's speech today, and her topic is going to be AI agent versus agentic agent. Did I get it right, Priya?
Yeah, AI agents and agentic AI. Yeah.
Agentic AI. Okay. Over to you, Priya.
Okay. Okay. Let me get started. Thank you, Table Topics Master. Oh, I'll try to keep the timing, but it'll be good if someone else does the timing because I want to share some slides. Agentic AI and AI agents. So what are they? Let's take a poll. Who has heard about agentic AI? Who has heard about AI agents? Okay, one. So AI agents are agents that help you to do everyday tasks, repetitive tasks. So if there is a calendar, Google Calendar that you use, and it sends you a reminder, and it tells you that you have a big BAsin Toastmaster meeting in the morning at 8 a.m. on Saturdays, it repetitively does that. So that's done by a AI agent. What is agentic AI? Agentic AI helps you to take autonomous decisions. So I will get started with some information that I gathered. Let me see if I'm able to share it. Okay.
Yeah, you can stop your timer. I do have it in my background.
Oh, okay. Okay, let me stop the timer as well. I'm not able to find my window where I have. Okay, there we go. Okay. So AI agents versus agentic AI. Now, let's see what is each one in detail, and then I'll tell you. I'll compare the two, and we'll go from there. So, what is agentic AI? It can make decisions. It can take actions, and even learn on its own to achieve specific goals. So, agentic AI is one step ahead of AI agents. So if you thought AI agents was doing a lot, agentic AI will surprise you to a large extent. Agentic AI are yeah, the technology is very new, and it's used in robots that do everyday tasks. So if you have a Roomba, you have seen that Roomba whirls around and gathers dust, as well as goes under the furniture and tries to clean that space as well. Changes direction based on obstacles and covers the area. And there are also other kinds of humanoid robots that deliver food. So if you have seen, if you've gone to, I think I saw them in Cupertino. If you were walking along Stevens Creek, sometimes you would see that little box on wheels that keeps going on its own. And it has these two blinkers on the top, which look like eyes. So you can see that there is something moving, but you won't know what it is. It's actually a food delivery van that goes on wheels and goes about delivering food to areas on the same street. Sometimes in Santana Row also you see it, because there are lots of shops and lots of places where it can stop right on the street and deliver food. So those are that technology is using agentic AI because it has an additional level of reasoning that is built into it. So if you have a decision making based on reasoning, then you have agentic AI. Now, what are the four key stages of agentic AI? So one is perception. Perception is gathers data from the world around it. So it has sensors, motion based sensors set all around the device. So it can take images of objects that are around it, and it can keep gathering that information and reasoning based on the images that it is getting around it. So if you have seen these little food delivery vans or self-driving cars, they have agentic AI mechanism or technology that is built to an exceptionally high intelligence level. Reasoning. It has reasoning on, it has algorithms that decide what should be done when a given image is presented to it. So if there is a human that is being detected as an object that is coming in front of it, what should be the action? Should it stop? Should it ram into the human? Should it push forward? Should it change direction? Should it turn 90 degrees? And so on. So the reasoning is built into it. Action. What is the action that the device should take when there is someone when there is a huge obstacle that is placed in front of it? And at the same time, it also has machine learning built into it. So based on the actions that it based on the decisions that it takes for a given situation, it learns that information, stores that information, and the next time it faces the same obstacle, it knows what action to take. So those are the four stages. So perception, reasoning, action, and learning. So those are built into agentic AI. And the picture here is very symbolic because it says that it builds the DNA of that system based on these four stages. So why agentic AI and why AI agents? The agentic and some of the examples. So agentic AI examples are self-driving cars, supply chain management, cybersecurity. So if you've seen the Amazon shop floor, they have these huge robots that go and pick up objects, put them in boxes, create a label for the objects, ship them, pack them properly, and put them in the right container that goes to different areas that it needs to be delivered. So supply chain management leverages agentic AI to a large extent. So anything that has robots, robotic arms, doing an extra level of work beyond just reasoning, that has agentic AI. AI agents are your chatbots, your customer support, your calendar notifications, repetitive tasks, something that does email management. So when you have settings in your Outlook and you say that please send an email when I'm out of office, and reply only once for every request that comes in when I'm away. Those are all examples of AI agents. Now, why would you use one or the other? It depends on your use case, and I would say that read about agentic AI. It is gaining huge popularity, and with the emphasis on going towards AI and robotics, I think agentic AI is gaining predominance. And there is a lot of news articles on agentic AI and different tech companies trying to adopt agentic AI at a fast pace. And I'm sure that in this decade, you will see a lot of inventions that use this agentic AI. AI agents was the invention of the last decade. Agentic AI would be for this decade. So I urge you to go ahead and read it. And I hope I have sparked some curiosity in your minds to read about this. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Back to you.
Thank you, Priya. How do we want to do the evaluation though? Shall we
We
just
can
do a
do it after the table topics. We can just do round robin.
Okay, perfect. Then we move to the next round. Sorry, actually, let me change my background. But let's move to the next round, and that will be table topics. I hand it over to Soumya for taking us through that round. Over to you.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks, Amitabh. The topic for today is humor. In table topics, I will ask a question and I will ask you to use your impromptu speaking skills to respond to the question. This is how we improve. We have prepared speeches and we have impromptu speaking. We do impromptu speaking every day in our lives, and we can become better speakers if you're able to articulate what we are thinking and be able to communicate it well. So I encourage all of you to participate actively in table topics and also use the word of the day. The word of the day is verve. I believe Alan has posted it in the group meeting chat. Okay, so let's get started. The first question. Laughter is the best medicine. Laughter is the best medicine. Do you agree or disagree? What are your thoughts on this? Anyone? How about Alan?
Yeah, sure. I don't really practice it a lot, but I do believe that laughter really makes you a little bit happier. Um, I noticed that there's a lot of these laughter clubs in the world which meet together and then they just laugh just to lighten their mood and get happier. So and I've noticed in my personal life also that when I laugh, I do get happier and then my anxiety and my sadness goes away. So yes, I believe that laughter helps you a lot. Back to you, Samya.
Thanks, Alan. You're right. I did hear about those laughter clubs myself. I'm kind of curious about them. Next question. Why do children laugh more than adults? Why do children laugh more than adults? Gang?
Very direct feeling about this is children does not have pressures children that had not have household responsibilities. But I I don't I don't think this direct feeling is actually correct, because if you look at school childrens, they do have homework, they do have like social problems. They are dealing with things. The reason I think children has more laughters, or like we look at just more verb, is because their their responding system, I'm talking about mentally, physically, is not has not been developed to a sophisticated status as adults have yet, and their response system is more natural, is more like first direct response, which is which expressed more of the human nature. And that's I think is why it's not about their stress is less, or their stress is different. It's not less than adults. It's just about their responding system has not been developed to an adult level yet. Yeah.
Thanks, Kang. I think that's a very fair point. Kids also do, it's true. I think they have less stress, so there's less to cry about, maybe. The next question. When was the last time you laughed out loud? When was the last time you laughed out loud? I can take that question actually.
Yes, I mean,
Kang reminded me the last time I laughed out loud was we had a little baby visiting our house. We had some family from DC and they had a 8-month-old baby. And all the things that he was doing really made me laugh. One thing I remember clearly is his verb or energy. Like he cannot walk yet. He's just started crawling, but he crawls more often, he crawls backwards rather than forward. So we put him down and he wants to read something. He tries to go for it, but then he goes backward and he doesn't understand why. He's like crawling under the chair instead of going forward. And it was a riot. He made all of us laugh so much. And he has no inhibitions. Whatever he wants, he's actually very present, I think. If you show him something that he really likes, he gets so excited and he's so bubbly and happy and he's smiling at everybody. And if you take something away from him, he's so upset and he starts crying right away. It's just his ability to kind of express himself without any inhibitions and just being present. Whatever is happening then is what he's thinking about. He's not thinking about any other, what others are doing or what others are feeling. He's just reacting. In some ways, like Gang said, it's that they don't have any inhibitions. That's what makes them laugh so much. Okay, next question. Do you have a favorite comedy show or movie, funny movie that you enjoy?
yeah, I can take that one. I do have a favorite comedy show, and probably that was the first comedy show when I started watching as a kid. And I don't know if, but some of the people who come from India might be able to relate. It was called The Flop Show. There were like 13 episodes, and I still cannot laugh enough every time I watch those episodes. Those episodes were like so good, like very, very relatable incidents, like not today's comedy, like many of the today's comedy. I don't want to generalize stuff, but like where comedy is crass, vulgar, you cannot even see it with your family. Like all those vulgarities have become kind of the benchmark of comedy to make you laugh. But looking at those shows today, even like you don't even, there was no iota of like any inappropriate content in that. It was a proper family show, but it'll keep making you laugh every time you watch it. They are like so relevant, I feel. And that was it. Coincidentally, I'm like, I was very, very young at that point in time. I couldn't even understand fully. But now, like, pretty much I keep, whenever I'm upset or whenever I'm sad, I need like a good dose of humor. I always go back to that one. So that one stands out. Another one which comes to my mind is like the Tom and Jerry shows. It is again so relevant even for kids, adults, everyone. So I feel that there are still some genres or some good shows which we can keep falling back to whenever we think that we are missing the dose of humor in our lives. Back to you, Samya.
Thanks, Amitabh. I'm going to look that up. Flop show. I never heard about that. My favorite is Lucy. Here's Lucy. I really love those shows. Next one. Actually, this goes back to what Amitabh said earlier. How can we add more laughter to our lives? How can we add more laughter to our lives?
I can take that one.
Thanks, Priya.
If you pay attention to little things that happen to your life, you'll find them to be very funny. The problem is we are moving at a very fast pace. So we tend to ignore some of the little nuances around us that are really funny. And rather than getting stressed about not being on time, not getting things done, if you look at what else happened in the process, you'll find it funny. So always when you look back at events that were not so pleasant, you'll find a funny element in it, usually. But the thing is, you have to take time to reflect and look back at some unpleasant event. You'll find a dose of humor in it, and you'll laugh about it after 10 years, maybe. Like Amitabh said, if you look back at events that happened in your childhood, but that were not very pleasant at that point, but today I laugh very hard. So I had these experiences a lot. Like when I was younger, my mom, me and my brother were twins. So my mom used to we were like raised together for a long time, so there was no inhibitions, like there was no gender concept even ingrained when you are that young, right? Because you find everybody is same, you feel that, right? So my mom used to do this, like 3 or 4 year old, she used to bathe us one after the other, because two kids. And at one point there was some visitor who was about 7 8 year old boy, a neighbor's kid, who came running in saying that I want to play with us. And that was very very odd for me, because I was getting from 4 to 5, and I thought that, "Oh, this is my own brother. I'm comfortable with him, but I'm not comfortable with this new guy coming and coming and playing with us, especially when we are bathing and all that." So that incident was so ingrained in my head, and I felt so embarrassed about it. But today when I think about it, I'm like laughing so hard. I was so young. I was like 5 year old, nothing. And now when I see my own kids, I feel, oh, this is a time when you should enjoy, rather than thinking about all those little things. So those are the things. Some unpleasant incidents, you look back, you laugh about it hard now. So look at the little nuances, you will find humor in. Thank you.
Thanks, Priya. I think that goes back to the same question. Be present, see what's happening, and respond to it, right? Okay, next question. Do you like to tell jokes? Do you like to tell jokes? We've all answered, so anyone wants to take that?
I can take that one. I do. I definitely do like to tell jokes. I am that kind of a person when I kind of make people laugh. Like by no stretch of me imagination, I'm a comedian or anything. But I like when people around me are laughing because of the humor that I'm inducing in the atmosphere. And actually, that's one of the reasons my friends, even my coworkers, they like being around me in terms of, okay, hey, if Amitabh is there, so he'll keep the moment light at all given point in time. Sometimes it works against me as well, because even in a serious situation, I'll crack something and then people will say, oh, this guy is not serious, we need to focus and blah blah, he's distracting us. But those are very like those are on the, I would say, on the lesser side. More people kind of enjoy the company. My concept of a joke is a little different. I don't generally quote, like for example, I don't know if people have noticed, I've never taken up a humorous role in Toastmasters, because I don't go by that, like the scripted, okay, like a joke being a joke. I try to create a joke out of the current situation, and that kind of like basically is the relevance part of it, which people probably enjoy. So yes, to answer the question, I do joke, or I cracking jokes a lot, but the jokes are actually spawned, and based on the current situation we are in as compared to stereotyped or like basically quoting from somewhere else. Back to you, Samya.
Nice answer, Amitabh. Now we know what role you're going to take up next week. Actually, I forgot. I wanted to add a little humor before every question. So here's some jokes. Why was the math book sad? Why was the math book sad?
It
Because
did not
it
have
had
all the
two,
answers.
huh?
It did not have all the answers.
That's great. That's a nice answer. The one that was on online was because it had too many problems. Okay, next question. Let's see. If you had to choose, would you prefer to be the funniest person in the room or the smartest person in the room? If you had to choose, would you choose to be the funniest person in the room or the smartest person in the room? Anybody?
Can I take
Funny.
this? Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, Gam.
Okay. I choose to be the funniest. So many people say that like funny is coming from wisdom. I don't 100% agree with that. Funny also coming from 100% be present, as we talk about, not just reacting to the present little signals, everything. You just immerse yourself in the present. That can make you funny. And of course, you have to bring a good heart, good face. Yes. And to be smart is actually have a lot of pressure. And the people may be cynical about why you are acting like you are trying to be smart. And are you trying to, outsmart others? Are you trying to get some other agenda in the meeting? That is basically trying to be smart, or not trying to be smart. Being smart will get like different opinions to you, some adversaries. That's why I'm choose to be funny. I want to be present. I want to be, be more human. Yep.
Thanks, Kang. Very good point. Next one. If you could hang out with any cartoon character, who would that be?
Donald Duck.
Go ahead, Priya.
I was saying Donald Duck.
Continue.
I like Donald Duck because I've seen the Donald Duck and the three little ducks, and they have so much fun because the Donald Duck is like coming with a whip around the three ducks to make them behave, do the right things at the right time, get up in the morning, brush your teeth, eat your breakfast. And I can actually remember that cartoon that used to play when the channel had it. It used to repetitively do the same things, and three ducks would nicely do other things right under his nose, and that was funny. And there was there was no there was no reason for you to be upset after seeing that cartoon. So that's why it's very deeply ingrained. And I used to love that because that's exactly what we do as kids, right? Always trying to sneak in other things under our parents' noses. So that I could relate to it a lot. Thank you.
Thanks, Priya. Nice. Donald Duck. Yeah, bringing back memories. Love to read all those comic books. Okay, what do you call a fake spaghetti? What do you call a fake spaghetti? Impasta. Okay, next question. What is the secret to telling a good joke? What is the secret to telling a good joke?
Not to laugh yourself.
That's good. That's good. There's not just one secret. Okay, let me answer that question. The secret to telling a good joke, Priya got a good response not to give away the punchline. The other thing that's also important is the timing and the pausing. Oftentimes, when I tell a joke, I'm so excited to tell them what's happening that I rush through the joke. So you really have to pause, wait for people to wonder and think, and then give them the punchline. I think that's the most important part. I'm not very good at telling jokes for that exact reason. One-liners are easier, but if you had to tell a story of a joke, I tend to rush through it. I don't even realize I'm doing it. I rush through the joke, and then the punchline doesn't have the same reaction that it would if you really paused. And that's true in life too. You really have to pause. Pausing is excellent. Pause before responding to anything, pause before doing anything, pause before telling a joke. I think it's a good life lesson. Okay, next question. No, before that, why did the Scarecrow win an award? Why did the Scarecrow win an award? Because he was outstanding in his field. Outstanding. All right. I think I'm out of questions. Here's one. Do you recall a funny book that you recently read or you read before? Do you recall a funny book?
Can I say the books my kids read?
Yeah, of course.
I like Wimpy Kids. I don't know if you have a chance to see it. It actually been taken to be made into movies. So this is a comic, just like a lot of like drawings. At the same time, there's just text. There's quite some text. So it's a comic plus text, and this is talking about a family, and the main character is a middle school kid, like talking about he write his diaries, and describe about the funny things, the troubles, the laughters they had, the verbs they have with their family throughout the years, which I found very funny and a very like family appropriate, as well as this is from a kid's perspective, completely from a kid's perspective. Yeah.
That's a great point, Gang. We forget about kids' books. We look thinking about adult books, but yeah, got a good point. I remember my son would love, he still loves, I don't know, I haven't read those books, The Captain Underpants. He's always laughing about that book, even now. All right, here's another joke. What's orange and sounds like a parrot? What's orange and sounds like a parrot? A carrot. Okay, I'll go back to the other question. Do you have a favorite cartoon character or cartoon or comic book that you like to read? Alan?
Okay, sure, I can take it. I don't have a favorite cartoon character. When I was kids, I used to always watch cartoons. Bugs Bunny, Tom and Jerry, um, Daffy Duck. I mean, all the Looney Tunes cartoons. I used to like keep watching one after the other. But I don't think I have a favorite. But I think if I had to pick one, I would pick Tom and Jerry because that's the one I kept watching a lot. And it's always how Jerry always got to Tom, and always won, right? And Tom always loses the battle. So yeah, I think if I had to pick one favorite, it would be Tom and Jerry. Um,
It's funny how we all go back to our childhood, right? When we ask about comics. More recently, I got interested in a comic strip called Pickles. I don't know if you've read Pickles. It's in the newspaper. It's about retired couple. I forget their names, Opal and somebody. But anyway, it's the grandparents and they have the grandchild, and it's really funny. It's all about growing old and what happens. I guess as we age, that one seems really funny to me. Here's another joke. Why are frogs so happy? Why are frogs so happy? They eat whatever bugs them. Okay, let's see. Anyone else have any thoughts about how we can add more laughter to our lives? I have an idea. Just like we do like word of the day and everything, we should have cartoon of the day. I don't know if there's an app for that. So as soon as you get up in the morning, read a joke or a cartoon. I think that kind of helps a little bit. The other thing also is to indulge in whatever we find funny. It can be either a book, going out for a walk with friends, watching a show. Take a little time every week to do something that makes you laugh. Hanging out with a kid, whatever it is, everybody is different, but I think it's important to spend some time laughing. That's it for table topics.
Thanks.
Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Yeah, thanks, Soumya. We are right on time. So we move to the third section of the meeting. That's evaluations. So we wanted to do a round robin one, right? For Priya's speech. So one of us can kick us off, and then we can. So let's keep our time. Like let's time ourselves to like maybe 1 minute to 1 minute 30 seconds, so that we overall we kind of still meet the time limit as a whole. Maybe I can go first. Great topic that you picked up, Priya. At least to me, yeah, I know about AI agents, but agentic AI, I'd heard the word, but at least you explained it pretty nicely. Especially what are the 4 steps that goes into making it what it is. You also kind of tied it with practical examples of Roomba and stuff. So I think overall it was a pretty informative one. To be honest, I couldn't find anything within like a 5-7 minutes. You cannot go to the entire length of explaining everything there, and probably it won't be even landing on people. So I think overall it was a pretty good one. The only thing which I find is you had like a few R's and ums and those things which can be refined a little bit better. Nothing specific on terms of the speech content and how it was delivered. It was pretty good, at least for me. Who wants to go next? Gang, you want to evaluate Priya's speech?
Yes. About an R's, and there's some R's. There's about I can count about 12 to 15 R's. Yeah, that can to have less of them, have fewer of them can help with the flowiness, the better flow. And another point I want to mention, the agent AI part, and sorry, agentic AI part is making people related to the very popular term is like generative AI. Generative AI. So it triggers me to think about comparison. Maybe a little bit comparison may help, because like generative AI is a very hard topic. Yeah, that's one thing I recommend.
Cool. Thanks, Gang. Alan or Soumya, can you go next?
Yeah, I can go.
Sure.
Priya, I really enjoyed the speech actually. I had no clue about agentic. I have to repeat that word because this is the first time I'm hearing it. was very informative. I enjoyed the speech a lot. One thing I would suggest in your introduction, you talked about agentic, but it wasn't very clear. I didn't, so coming from a layperson's point of view, I wasn't very clear what you were talking about. What is agentic AI? You didn't give examples, you just said one statement. And I think you could have clarified it better. If you go back and watch the speech, you'll understand that better. I thought it was your examples that you used, the Roomba example was very good. What else? I loved the background that you had. It was very appropriate. And for having having had only 5 minutes or 10 minutes to prepare, I think it was very well done speech you had. You explained in your slide what it is. Later on, I understood what you were talking about. You gave good examples and you had a nice summary. I forgot exactly what you said, but something about curiosity. You ended it well, so it was a good intro. Intro could have been stronger, but the ending was good and the structure was very good. I enjoyed this speech. Thank you.
Alan?
Okay, sure. I think I like the topic a lot, agentic AI versus agent AI. You summarized it well. For a person who does not know anything about AI, it was pretty informative. Did not go too technical into like what like in what AI exactly is. So it actually got me into thinking about reading about it more. So that is good. So, but I cannot think about any um, negative because it was just prepared like on the spot, right? It was not like did you prepare this beforehand or was it just
No, it was about 10-15 minutes before
yeah?
them. Yeah.
Yeah, considering that it was like pretty good. Yeah.
Cool. Thanks, everyone. Let's move to the last section of our meeting, and that's the functionality reports. So, can I call upon our counter, Gung, to present his report?
Yeah. For Amitabh, in the table speeches, there's about seven. Oh, sorry, there's about five and filler words. Yeah, in your table topics. For Alan, I found about four R's in your table topics. And for Priya, but Priya, you speak most. So on the speeches and table topic, I found about 15 R's. And for myself, I may have bias, but I found about 7 R's for myself. And Soumya, there's like I can only find like a one R's in your speeches. Yeah.
Thanks, Gung. Okay. Priya, can we have the timer report from you? Did all of us qualify for the table topics?
Yes, sure. So I think Alan had 45 seconds. For table topics, you need to speak up to 1 minute. And Amitabh had 1 minute 30 seconds. Soumya had 1 minute 45 seconds. I had 2 minutes 15 seconds. Gang had 1 minute 20 seconds. So all of us qualified except Alan. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Uh, who else said? Do we have a general evaluator today?
Oh yeah,
Oh, that was Alan, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So we have our counter. Okay, Grammarian, can you present your report, please? Did we have a grammarian? Sorry, actually, I have splitting between two screens back and forth. Does yes, Alan was your grammarian. Yeah, so Alan, can you combine both the grammarian report and the general evaluator report?
Okay, like for the grammarian report, I noticed, Soumya, you used the word of the day in one of your table topics, so that is great. Thank you for that. I cannot find many grammatical mistakes. Yeah, I cannot find any mistakes in any of the speeches or in the table topics. But yeah, so for the general evaluation, I think the meeting we have a small attendance today, so not many of the roles were filled. But we tried our best. And Amitabh, thank you for being the Toastmaster. I think you managed to start the meeting on time, and I think you organized and conducted the meeting pretty well today. Priya, thank you for stepping up and giving a speech. I know Anita could not make it today because of her personal reasons. So that is very good of you to step up and prepare your speech within the 10 minutes and give a fantastic speech. Um, Soumya, your table topics were very interesting. You always had a joke prepared before the table topics, so that made it more lively. And thank you for asking us like all these interesting questions and getting us thinking about laughter. I myself don't really read comic or watch comic movies. I always focus on my finance and news and and watch horror and thriller movies actually on Netflix. So I'm going to try to watch more comedy movies from now on. So thanks for that. And I think pretty much the meeting was done pretty well. I think all the functionaries did their job pretty well. That's it. Back to you.
Thanks, Alan. And I am your vote counter as well. So can you please take a moment to send me your votes for the table topic, since we had only one prepared speech, so there is no voting for that. Okay, I think we have all the votes, and the winner is Priya.
Oh, thank you.
Congratulations, Priya. Thank you. And again, special thanks for stepping up and filling in for the prepared speech role as well. Okay, I think we can stop the recording. That brings us to the end of our meeting. Thanks, everyone. Maybe we can stop the recording and sign up for next week's role.